Hello and welcome to yet another cast. For you today I have a custom 7v7. Yes, this is a big one, and if you look at the length of the video, it's also a long one. Played on the Rocks map generator. We are playing on a full-size 20k map. And as you can see, very naval heavy. I'm currently in no rush to introduce the players because, well, it's a full Navy map. Of course, the start is going to be painfully slow. But we have Team 1 up on the top, Team 2 down the south. And let's start with the easternmost player of Team 1. We have in green, going UEF, opening first land, Coco Sina. Yes, that is the name. Then to the west of that, in yellow, going Aeon, opening first land, we have Skas. Then to the west of that, in pink, and opening, or light pink, and opening first land as a Cybran, we have Roby. To the south of that, in red, opening first air, going Seraphim, we have SPCR. Then, to the west of that, in grey, also going Seraphim, opening first land, we have Chaos Pyre. To the north west of that, in this very dark green, or greyish green, we have Esmonoob going Serpent, opening first land. And last player of the northern team, Team 1, in orange, to the north, in the back. I already pointed out that they are in orange. Opening first land, we have Firth. I think I also point out that they are playing UEF. Really sore throat right now, I guess, or bad throat just in general. Anyway, let's start with the southern team in dark blue. Going UEF, opening first land, we have Han Solo. Then, to the east of that, in white, going Aeon, opening first land, we have Daedalus. Or LL, Daedalus, LL. I will just stick to Daedalus because, well, that's easier. Then, to the east of that, let's go here. In brown, I think, we have, and going Cybran. Already moving the commander far to the front, we have Herr Herr Motsovi, or something like that. I think it's Motsovi. Yeah, looking at the scoreboard instead of the actual commander name tag. Yeah, I think it's Motsovi. Anyway, they are going Cybran, opening first land, and already moving on to the water with that Cybran commander. Then to the north of that, in piss yellow, going first and second air, and as a Cybran, we have Shaker, who also already moved their commander out of their base right here to grab this 5 max expansion on the slot. And next player to the east of that, in hot pink, going Aeon, opening first land, we have Ryan, also already with the commander out of the base to, I guess, grab some land. Right, there's some reclaim on the island right here. And then to the southeast of that, we have Kung Fu Panda in lime green, going UEF, opening first land, already with some naval yards out. We're out 4 minutes, I took my sweet time to actually do the player introductions, I am aware. I'm not sorry, and I think it's still okay. But yes, last but not least, we have Ramp here, down in the south, in burgundy red, going Cybran, opening first air. Okay, now it's a bit late to look for reclaim because, well, we have already something like 6 or almost 7k reclaim collected on the map. There is around 2.4k left though, so I'd say around 10k reclaim on the entire map. Roughly. 10 to 9k, somewhere in that range. T1 Bomber out for 2nd, Kung Fu Panda. A lot of names for me to keep track of, so of course I'll miss a few. Or I'll be off with a few. And I have an unusually bad cough right now again. So please do excuse me if I have to mute a bit more often or take a sip more often. But that Bomber actually getting 3 kills, I think, now. Yep. But tagged by a few interceptors out from SPCR and thus gets annihilated. We do now have some early frigates out from Ryan, trying to make a aggressive push forward. Immediately running into a Sylph submarine from Scars. Now, I think Ion might still be the best faction to run into the submarine with when it comes to the frigate, since that does have torpedo defense. It's not great, and you still can't fire it back, but you're taking you're at least taking less damage due to that submarine, due to that torpedo defense. But yeah, there is a second submarine already coming out, so that won't be going far. No, nail factory is now coming out for basically everyone on the game. Right, we already have a T2 upgrade on the way for Han Solo. Do they have T2 Maxes? Yes, they do. A few. Currently still in the process of upgrading by the looks of it. But they should be careful, as there is already a single frigate coming in to, I guess, harass their naval production or possibly attempt a naval lock. But Han Solo already has a Tiger Shark out, Tiger Shark T1 submarine, and thus can actually do something against the frigate. Not much, but something. Right, and right here we also have a T1 torpedo launcher that will be a bit more successful in actually dealing damage there. A few NGs do go down, 3 in total, nothing too bad there. Sorry to point out, this game will of course take some time to get started, with it being a pure naval map. We do have a bit of flatter water right here down the middle, as you can see. If we compare, let me just go right to the edge here, and it's hard to see. Well, this is the minimap has an elevation map mod, so the fact that it's also later there means that, yes, that is actually a flatter area. But yes, that does also come with a few maxes strewn around, or spread around, or whatever. And those have already been claimed. At least most of them have. So still a lot of reason to actually go out and extend. Something that you don't see on all naval maps. But yes, it is something on this one. And with that, you basically get a similar dynamic to a land map, just generally a lot slower because, well, Navy is slow compared to everything else. At least early game, you have a similar dynamic. Because, to some extent, T1 Navy plays kind of similar, especially on when you have a lot of water, to just open maps, but, well, that is just something that's true right now at this moment. Even more true for the players of Seraphim and Aeon, since they do get access to T1 Hover. Though I don't see any of that being utilized, with the exception of engineers, but, well, those can swim for all factions, so nothing too special there. Yeah, some submarines out there. Let's just see who is currently at T2 Navy. We have, of course, T2 Navy, as already mentioned, out for Han Solo. Currently getting a destroyer out. First destroyer is always very, very crucial for winning the naval game. But that looks like the only South Navy player to actually have T2. Okay, there is currently also T2 underway for Kung Fu Panda. In the north, in the meantime, I only see never mind, T2 Navy underway for Scars. I was about to say I only see T1 Navy, but no. No, there is some effort made to go T2 as well. But currently only from Scars, so overall, Southern team ahead on the when it comes to tech. Lots of T1 bombers utilized by Shaker to, well, I guess operate as budget naval bombers. And just harassing the ships of the northern team. And allowing some early aggression. We do have some... do have a small push right here of a few frigates, but they did run into a bunch of submarines outfit Chaos Pile. So those won't do... well, those won't be really harmed by the frigates. Oh, I have a really hard time talking right now. I don't know why. Let's just see. Is you for Chaos Pie also in the water? Close to the front, maybe to grab some access just to serve as big power, I don't know. And would look at that, Mosovi going for a torpedo upgrade. Sorry about that. As already pointed out, a cough that's worse than usual for me. It seems like Ryan just went for a full submarine spell. That will work early game, but T2 Navy has been achieved by Scuzz now, and the out-destroyer is being built. The destroyer is extremely effective against submarines of any kind. Top bombers now in the area in the middle for ramp here, helping out in the fight against SPCL. But there are some intis trying to prevent those bombers from being utilized. However, it looks like the airfight did go mostly in favor of the southern team right now. Though the top bomber did get shot down, with the T1 bombers now also ending up dead. Let's look at how air tech is going. T3 Air about to finish up for ramp here. I would expect a lot of players to actually go for air on this map, considering the fact that it is very naval heavy, so basically the choice for players is taking up navy and taking up air. And yes, we also have T3 Air on the way for Shaker. Unsurprisingly. Interestingly enough, T2 land out for Daedalus. Maybe we will see some Aeon hover spam there, some places, maybe some hover flags, some stuff like that. Though I'm not sure if that is the play. We have T2 Air currently underway for Mosovi, and no air out for Han Solo. Now let's look at the northern team. Only T1 in general. Never mind, there is T2 Navy, but primarily T1 out for Kalkosina. That T2 Navy currently just building some Sparkies, not normal engineers. That I would usually expect to maybe get some T2 power up. And then... well, not even any air factory out for Scuzz. T2 Air finished for SPCR, but no T3 on the way there. T3 Air already finished up for Broby, with a Pigeon currently, with the T3 Pigeon currently under construction. Just T1 Air for Chaos Pile. The same deal for Asmonoob. And T3 Air has finished up for Firth as well. Let's look here. Okay, that T3 Pigeon is about to finish. Overall, technically Shaker slightly behind their opponent when it comes to air production, as already pointed out, probably already at T3, and with that T3 Pigeon already under construction, halfway done. But in return, well, technically it's not even Shaker's direct opponent. The opponent for Proby is 1 second, Mosovi. Yeah, took me a moment there with names. I'm not that great with names to be fair. But yes. Titan Navy has been achieved by Daedalus now. Let's see, well, we do have the first Bulwark shield builds, a not Cyber UAF unique ship. Now coming out for Han Solo, those are, well, pretty useful in increasing engagement of your ships. Then let's look north. Esmonuk now also at T2 Navy, building up a bunch of Salems. Han Solo, interestingly enough, pulling back, though they do have a superior number of T2 when it comes to T2 Navy right now. Not sure if that is the play, but to be fair, we also have a few submarines right here that can cause a lot of harm. Now let's look into the middle. Mosovi with the torpedo upgrade, currently going for stealth. I guess intending to get very aggressive with that commander. But needs to be careful as there's already T2 Navy out for SPCR now as well. Not too surprising, 15 minutes have passed. At 15 minutes, T2 Navy is no longer that impressive. Now, well, Monaco Factory is currently going up for scars. And yeah, T2 Navy already pointed out that Carcassina had that. T2 Navy now also building for Orion. And for Shaker. Yeah, most players at T2 Navy at this point, as you would expect. Bit of a naval fight going on right here, almost missed that. It seems like Scars attempted a naval push into the production of Ryan, but got quickly forced out by a force of destroyers and overwhelming numbers of submarines. I know I pointed out earlier that submarines are not that great against destroyers, since destroyers are really, really good against them. And the thing is, even if something is really, really good against something else, if the counter unit just exists in a sufficiently large number, it usually can still just win. So T1 subspam can win against destroyers. It's just destroyers will generally annihilate your T1 subs. So you will take heavy losses if you try to beat them with subspam. Now, Salem's utilizing their range, bombarding the navy of Han Solo on the western flank. With a single cruiser trying to fire into those, but, well, these destroyers are on the move, so the cruiser cannot hit, due to the long time that those missiles take. And the Cyprian destroyers, the Salems, being able to use their highly superior range to cause some troubles for the southern navies, for the navy of the southern team on that flank. In the middle, bigger engagement now going on, with some destroyers and even a Siren-class cruiser for Shaker, as well as the torpedo ACU of Mosobi. It is firing these torpedoes very, very slowly, but getting some mass killed. It has been spotted and pinged, so we might be seeing some, well, some focus fire onto that. More destroyers coming in. Top bombers utilized by Rampier to help out. I think they do currently have the air control, so they can afford it. I can afford to build some top bombers to help out. But that will change once there are any proper numbers of ASF out for the northern team. We have a fight between interceptors for SPCR and the ASF of Rampier. Well, the interceptors get massacred. However, there are actually a bunch of ASF coming in for Broby. And I think they actually ended up winning that engage. So my statement with Rampier currently having the air game, well, that I have to, I guess I have to take that back. They should probably focus on pure ASF production right now to regain air control. In the meantime, it looks like Shaker is actually building up some Corsairs, so maybe there will be a snipe planned at some point in time. We shall see about that. Two support factories currently queued to go T3, but that generally takes some time. Now, let's look again. Anything big going on? Well, we have some governors for Kokosina that, well, do governor things and bombard some stuff built up, or some buildings that were built up around the middle area. Killing off engineers and basically all structures that are close to surface, including a sonar. Okay, if we look a bit further east, there is actually a naval fight going on between the navies of Ryan and, well, Ryan with the support of Kung Fu Panda against Scuzz. And though that did just end. In the west, in the meantime, another naval engage going on between Han Solo and Esmanoop. Though, well, that also just ended with everyone pulling back. We are at 20 minutes. Navy, generally stuff like this does start to slow down at this stage. This is very common. Big push now coming out from Ryan. Also nice to see the support from this bulwark right here to actually stick to the navy of Ryan instead of the direct navy of Kung Fu Panda, supporting the teammate like that. And that did provide a bit of additional HP, though the bulwark sheet is now down. A navy of Kung Fu Panda pushes in, tries to deal some damage, but is completely outgunned by all of these Exodus. So those will probably just die. Let's see, do we maybe have some... don't see any... Well, never mind, there is actually T3 Navy underway for Han Solo now. Is there any northern T3 Navy plans already started? It does not look like it. Well, that is definitely big. It looks like Kokosina has just gone completely into cruiser build. I mean, I don't hate it, I just don't think it's the best idea right now. It would definitely be useful as a AA support unit, but, well, the problem here is the there's also just, well, there would be some use to any kind of direct fire T2 unit, and just for naval support purposes. Or normal naval engagement purposes, which the cruisers aren't great at due to just having those cruise missiles. In the meantime, on the western flank, we have Esmanoop now pushing in with a ever-growing number of Salems, and currently just, well, completely crushing the navy of Daedalus and Han Solo. Also some destroyer support out from Chaospire with those Seraphim destroyers. And their nasty beam weapons. This is not looking too great. T3 Navy has been achieved for Han Solo. So maybe we will be seeing some change there. Currently just some T3 energies, I guess, to get some, well, the usual T3 stuff, Pigeons, maybe shields, later probably also SMD out, the usual. But, well, after that there is a battlecruiser queue, so that might be able to make a change there. While, well, it is questionable if that will survive long enough with the current push out from Northern Team on that flank. Mosovi in the meantime actually very effective use of that torpedo commander. Only 11 kills, yes, but 6.5k mass killed is actually quite a bit. Currently also with a cruiser and destroyer out for Shaker supporting. The cruiser for the Cyprian also more of a direct fire unit with good AA capabilities. Due to, well, not actually having the same missiles that Seraphim and Cyprian, Seraphim and UEF get access to. Don't know why I'm constantly confusing Cyprian and UEF today, as those two factions are very different. Cruiser is a priority target for some top bombers, but does survive. And, well, let's get some fire into there. Looks like Navy did stabilize on the eastern, on the western side for Han Solo and Daedalus. But in the meantime, the eastern side seems to have completely collapsed, as we have a big naval push now coming in from Skaz with a lot of destroyers, just causing heavy damage, threatening the naval production of Ryan. Though, looking at this, there's now actually T3 Navy out for Kong Panda, with the Fortis battlecruiser already on the field and mass sheetboats now being spammed out to try to keep them alive. Good call. And those battlecruisers will definitely be able to make a difference and allow a, well, allow a counteroffensive that may at least stabilize the front right now. Especially due to the fact that the Neptune, as far as I'm aware, outranges the destroyers. As, if I remember correctly, the range of a Neptune is the same as the range of a Salem, and the Salem has the highest range of any destroyer at the current balance. I am pretty sure, at least. Yeah, I think the range of the Exodus did get significantly nerfed. Originally, the Exodus had a very high range as well, but, well, Exodus was a very strong destroyer, so they did change that quite some time ago. Now, Exodus pushing out for Ryan. There is a lot of governors in the area for Kokosina. And one thing that governors can actually be really useful at is taking out bulwark shields. While they cannot hit a ship directly, the effect, just the size of the bulwark shields, which are very useful, well, the size being very useful, yes, but also kind of a downside in this regard, just means that it will most likely still tank the missiles that would have hit any ship or stuff like that, leading to a situation where cruisers still annihilate, or missile cruisers still annihilate bulwark shields. But I will stick to my statement that I made earlier that in this situation destroyers would probably still be the better call, or be more effective. Big use of top bombers in the west in the meantime, I guess to help out getting, or to help getting more ground back for Han Solo and... one second, and Daedalus. Yes, I do really struggle with the names today, I am aware. But ASF response out from Proby means that those top bombers all went down. For us upgrades, we also have a nano upgrade out for Mosovi. That is probably a very good call if they want to stay at the front, especially now that there is the first T3 on the field. T3 Navy now also achieved 4 SPCR. So we might see some battleships there very soon. T3 Navy out for Chaos Pile, and going for the Yavso T3 submarine by the looks of it. Very, very dangerous, though not incredibly high DPS, insane range on its torpedoes, meaning that it is still very, very deadly, especially if you start death stacking them. T3 Navy also out for Esmonu. No, currently no battleships queued. Never mind, battleships have been added to the end of the build queue. And a very large number of battleships at that. Wait, is that... Ah, okay, yeah. The T2 factories are just set to assist the HQ right here, meaning that they will build the stuff that they can build of their own, without T3, generally T2 stuff. And then, well, skip the T3 stuff. Though it also looks like those are actually currently being upgraded as well, so they will just build all of it. But I am pretty sure they will not build on the same queue, they will just... they will start from a different spot in the queue, just building stuff up. Top bombers now coming in from Sovi to help out against the Western Navy, or Northwestern Navy. Causing some decent damage, but there is still the ASF presence that just shoots them out of the air. Now middle currently somewhat under control of the southern team. And massive reclaim field right here. There are actually engineers now coming, getting into the area, starting to reclaim. Very, very nice. Let's take another look onto the Eastern Navy. Well, we have Musovi now pushing against the T1 naval production of Kokosina. With, well, lots of success, since there is currently nothing on this specific side to stop it. Though Kokosina has taken a different approach, deciding that if they don't want to go for direct fire T2 Navy, how about direct fire T2 land? Now mass producing the UEF hover tank, the Riptide, which will actually be pretty good here against most of the Southern Team stuff. Cypern can deal with it due to its high rate of fire, and though it's not too amazing. Aeon is basically completely lost due to Aeon weapons generally being completely direct fire based, and not direct fire, alpha strike based on the Navy. But those battlecruisers are definitely very effective for this with their beams, as beams are always good at crowd control and subcom, either beams or high AoE. Beams generally because, well, you have a long burst of fire that can retarget mid burst, and thus still continue causing damage on different targets. Another pushback on the western side. There are battlecruisers and now battleships in the play for the southern team here, but they are now facing a sizable force of, well, not actually submarines. I see a single Yasuo. I think I saw a single Yasuo that just got top bombed to death. It's primarily submerged destroyers, as the Seraphim destroyers have the special ability to submerge, as a way to balance out the fact that the Seraphim do not get access to any T2 submarines. That's also due to that, Seraphim destroyers also with some really potent torpedoes, as you can just see in the sheer amount of torpedoes currently just getting shitted out of those. And that does actually work quite well, though I think, yep, the Cooper torpedo boats of the UEF would be a very effective counter against this strategy. And that is exactly what's now happening. Han Solo has started building Coopers. The thing with Coopers, they also just throw out a ridiculous amount of torpedoes, have a very long range on their torpedoes, and have some really good torpedo defenses. Though they are not really tanky in return, you don't need to be tanky when you are this cheap. But we do now also have an aircraft carrier out for Chaos Pyre. Seraphim aircraft carrier has the special perk of actually firing missiles, basically like a super cruiser, or a very big cruiser, as it also gets the characteristic cruiser trait of just amazing AA that you generally have on all aircraft carriers, as well as the large range of intel. Another thing that carriers generally just have in common if you look at this. I mean, that's air staging. Right, this is the radar ring. And also just a massive version range right here. So yes, those guys are actually pretty good. Though I think maybe going into battleships would be the better play right here. The Coopers are doing a good job against the destroyers. I think the counter to that would be battleships and surfacing destroyers. Okay, the destroyers have been surfaced. Yeah, I think the next step would be battleships just to deal with the enemy battleships. So I feel like that would just solve most issues, and yeah, there are no battleships being built up for Chaos Pyre. And also battleships out for Asmonoob. Well, not out yet, but currently being built. Now there's one. In the meantime, Kung Fu Panda actually managed to completely break through the Navy at some on one position, and is now threatening the naval production of SPCR. About to take out the naval HQ. It survives just about. There is a second battlecruiser right here, but I think it's targeted onto the wrong naval factory. It's targeted right onto this one. So it does go down right with the naval factory right here below 1k HP. That could have almost gone down, almost blocking off the tier 3 production capabilities of SPCR for a while. Luckily for SPCR, that push did not succeed. Let's see, is there any interesting standoff tech going on? And yes, we do have Kung Fu Panda building up Novax centers. Already 2 of them built under construction. Well, just usual aircraft stuff. The stuff you would expect from the air player. Let's see, what else? Well, more aircrafts. I think that's just power and mass upgrades, okay. And yeah, some SMDs. I don't see anything. I think the only special thing would be the Novax spam. Let's check Northern team. Nothing here. Nothing here. Also just aircraft stuff. Yeah, I don't see anything special here. Never mind. 4th almost finished a Novax. But I think that's basically it. Right, Han Solo. If we move back to the naval game now. Han Solo now with a Atlantis on the field. The UEF super or experimental aircraft carrier. Also a very good submarine, due to very high range on its torpedoes. However, as an aircraft carrier, high range, high vision range, and a very good AA armament that can only be used when you surface, of course. As you can see, just some SAM launchers right here at the sides. And that sounded like a nuclear explosion. Who dat? Where's the SU of Missouri? Atlantis right here. Okay, not sure what that was. But yes, Novax, not Novax, Atlantis on the field. Now I think Atlantis, the fact that the Atlantis is currently surfaced is definitely a big mistake, as it does take a lot of fire that way. It should definitely be submerged, and that is exactly what Han Solo is doing, but I think it's a little too late. And it also got a little too close to the Yav cells, and there it goes. Okay, right. Tempest under construction for Daedalus. And... well, mass top up was currently utilized by Chaos Player to try and get some control back. There is already a second Atlantis out for Han Solo that also surfaced for the AA support. Though I think it should probably also submerge now that there is no longer any aggressive air in the area. And it looks like Chaos Player did start using the special thing that the Seraphim get access to. Well, that Seraphim is one of the factions that get access to it. Hover Flag. The other faction being Aeon. Basically just your standard T2 mobile flag being a hover unit and thus deployed on the Navy as additional AA. Let's look into the middle and see that the Riptide Spam of Kokosina is actually doing a decent job. It managed to push right through the lines of the Southern team and is now threatening the naval production of Mosovi with the Gatling gun fire. But we do now have a few whalers coming in, as well as the very overkill firepower of the battleships just shooting into that as well. And some destroyers also coming into support. Well, interesting that there are bricks out for Shaker. Not really the map where I would go for bricks, to be honest. Right, Novax right here for 4th did finish and is now on the field, firing into the stuff of the Southern team. The 2 Novaxes for Kung Fu Panda did finish, however, a 3rd one already under construction. The 2 Novax is currently just going after unshielded stuff. Just taking that out. Where's the second one? Not sure. There's one right here. But there are 2 home stations, so there is a second one probably on the move somewhere. Just can't see it right now. Right, something to keep an eye on. We do have a few nuke subs out for Shaker. The Cyprian Plan B. Mass top bombers once again coming after the navy of the of Daedalus and Han Solo in the southwest. This time top bombers out from 4th. I think they need to go for more cruisers. Or start building aircraft carriers. Well, to be fair, Han Solo is building aircraft carriers. That is the Atlantises that just got sniped by the top bombers. I think there needs to be some aircraft carrier production out of Daedalus, as they do get access to normal aircraft carriers, unlike the UEF. Or just more cruisers, more battleships, stuff like that. Mass Timber bombers also utilized now, but they do get intercepted by a bunch of ASF out from Mosovi and Rampiers, so they only make 1 pass. Okay, Novax retargeted onto the base of Rampier, who, right here, has a nuke. We should stay aware of that. Thought Novax about to finish for Kung Fu Panda. Okay, and both Novexes right here are now actually in the same area, starting to fire into the pigeons. The one thing that you do need to stay alive when shielding a base is you do need power to run the shields. So if you can't hit anything else, with a Novex, hitting power is always a good idea. With some luck your opponent might start power stalling and you can just crash them afterwards. But already reclaims of the pigeons being done by Firth to prevent the generators from exploding. Since if the pigeon gets reclaimed the moment it dies, it doesn't explode. That goes for any volatile unit, by the way. Not sure if it goes for the Paragon. Would need to test that. I think it doesn't. I think the Paragon deals differently with stuff like that. Could be wrong. Could also work for the Paragon. Don't quote me on that though. Dear God, don't quote me on that. Don't want to be responsible for a chain of lots of Paragons dying when they actually get used and killing players that thought they would be safe by reclaiming it. But lots of battleship combat now going on. We do have summits, of course, out for Han Solo now at this point. The UEF battleship. And unsurprisingly large numbers of Omen battleships out for Daedalus, fighting against galaxies, and the Harpoons. Now, Tempest almost finished. The Tempest, a very, very powerful unit. Also very powerful naval factory, by the way. It actually does have more build power than a T3 factory. Though only can build T2. But the fact that it does have this much build power means that it will build T2 very, very quickly. And that way you can use it to build cruisers, destroyers, basically anything you need in a situation. I think I don't see enough players utilizing the naval build power of a Tempest, so I just want to point it out because I would love to see it utilized more, since it is such a great capability. The Tempest is such a great unit to also just produce supporting units at the front line. Or reclaim energies, basically, as I said, anything you need at the front. Except T3 Navy. But it looks like currently battleships for Esmonoob and Chaos Spire outnumber the battleships of the Southern team here in the area. Chaos Spire, of course, also with those Yavsa submarines. So with that, they do slowly, or they are currently slowly in the process of taking ground, regaining some control in the area. And there is a nuke. The nuke comes out from the base of Rampier. And where is it flying? It is flying in this way. Maybe for the base of Firth. There is SMD right here, it is loaded. Maybe also just after naval production right here. But with the note of nukes now flying, let's take a look at SMDs. We have also a SMD out for Bobby. Sorry, not Bobby, Broby. Got the name wrong there, because of course I do. Already pointed out earlier, not good with names. Well, there is a nuke launcher out for Skaz now as well, though no SMD at this moment, I think. Yep. Correct, no SMD. A nuke did in fact go after the naval production of SPCL and took out the Naval HQ. That is going to be painful, as with that, the current T3 Navy, or generally tech Navy that is being built, is the last that is being built for a while. Now we have 2 nuke launchers, you heard that correctly, 2, out for Kokosina right now, as well. Novexes... What? Okay, Novexes were trying to do some stuff against the... Novex array of Kung Fu Panda, or 4th Novex was trying to do that, but has retargeted onto the position currently held by Masovi and Shaker. Not new flies this time out from the northern team. It's out from the Apocalypse nuke launcher of Skaz. We also now have a nuke coming out from the southern nuke launcher of Kokosina. So 2 nukes flying. Let's check southern team for SMD. We have an SMD right here that is loaded thrice in the base of, well, under control of Shaker, between the base of Shaker and, under the control of Masovi, but between the base of Shaker and Masovi. We do have one right here in the base of Daedalus. Currently, never mind, there is also one in the base of Han Solo that just shot down one of the missiles. A second one going to the front right here. After these 5 maxes, taking out all of them. As there was no SMD in that area. Also, of course, SMD in the base of Rion, currently not loaded. We have an SMD in the Novex base of Kung Fu Panda and one in front of the base of Rampier. So that's all protected. Right. I think that's all of those out of the way. Not nuke flying, it's coming out of the nuke launcher of Kokosina and is going right after the base of Han Solo. That assembly, however, is loaded another time, so that will just get shot down. Mass swap bombers trying to go after the Tempest. That is taking, well, it is taking some damage. Not an incredible amount, just a little. And there was there were ASF area that took out the top bombers. Tempest should be able to deal with the Yevsos decently well. Not perfectly, but somewhat. As the Tempest does have pretty good torpedoes. And of course also Tempest using its long-range main battery to fire into the battleships. The one problem with that, it takes ages for that to reload. The firing cycle on that is incredibly slow. You do have a lot of AoE, yes, but well, you can't really, you shouldn't really classify the fire rate of this in rounds per minute or rounds per second. You're closer to rounds per year with the fire rate of the Tempest. And I know that that is definitely an over-exaggeration, but come on. I think that's part of the job for casters to be a bit over-dramatic when it comes to stuff like this. So let me be over-dramatic when saying stuff like that. No, not a nuke flies. This one is going... It's flying into ASMB that is not loaded. And it's going after the 5 max expansion right here. There is a hub of them currently under construction for SPCL. Is there any T3 RT from anyone in the southern team under construction? And yes, there is. Masovi is building a Disruptor. So 2 players going after T3 RT overall. We are now up to 4 Novexes out from Kung Fu Panda. And looks like they still cannot break through the shields of 4th, and thus those Novexes continue to harass the southern team's bases. Okay, 5th Novex did actually finish, so yep, there is satellite on the way right here. Now, I do see a bit of a problem with that. That means that Kung Fu Panda currently is not contributing to the naval game, and I think that is actually noticeable, as well. And it seems like Ryan got completely naval locked, forced to spam out a bunch of miasmas on the shoreline. But, well, miasmas won't hold out against battleships that are now moving in. Right here. Especially UAF battleships that have the highest range of any battleship. Actually being tied with the range of the Tempest, the experimental battleship. At 150 range. So yes, definitely a bit of a problem. Also similar characteristics when it comes to the firing cycle to the Tempest. Very high alpha, just incredibly slow reload on the main battery on the house main batteries. Major difference here, the Summit does get 3 triple turrets mounted. And there are now some battleships moving in from Shaker to try and help out. Trying to regain some ground. Though, well... Okay, there are of course also those Plan Bs that do utilize their rather mediocre torpedoes to help out against those Exodus. I guess it does work when helping out. It's not perfect. It definitely still is very problematic. If we look west, the naval production from Han Solo now under siege, taking direct fire from a sizable force of battleships. That's 7 battleships by my current count. That is actually a sizable battleship force. Yeah, it's not looking good for Han Solo as they do not have anything to counter currently. Well, they do have some stuff to counter, though it is mostly just frigates and, well, some Coopers. And I think also, yeah, some destroyers. But generally not the stuff that you want to use to counter battleships. You know, other battleships. Big airfight ensues over top. It seems like Ramp here, who went in first, lost a sizable amount of the Air Force in the process to the ASF of Proby. Masovi also comes in to continue helping out. All of this is happening under AA fire from those battleships right here, but I think also in range of the southern team's AA, so I guess both teams get their AA in here. Those Yavsos actually surface, bringing their actually pretty good AA firepower to bear to try and help out. But that was not enough, as the southern team did get the airfight right here, with the combination of both air forces. Now let's look back east. We now do have aircraft carriers right on the front. Those, why those won't directly cause damage, they will prevent any air from being placed in the area, as aircraft carriers basically operate as no-fly zones. Well, they do have lots of HP, 22,000. Not a lot for Tier 3 standards, I know, especially if you look at the low HP battleship for the Cyprian, the Galaxy class, at 44k, but compared to T2 Navy that is a lot. Especially compared to cruisers that are closer to something to the 3 to 4k HP range as far as I'm aware. Right, but if we go back onto the west, Navy for the southern team got completely annihilated in the area. Last battleship just died, and now the only thing left is a bunch of naval factories. There is another battleship about to finish for Han Solo. Will it finish? I don't know. I honestly doubt it. Well, okay, it's not a priority. It's not actually being targeted down right now, so it might. Just about. Battleship is being damaged, so is the factory. And the fact that the battleship is being damaged, by the way, does not delay the time it takes to build. That just means that the battleship will finish pre-damaged. But it is already pretty low, so is the factory. And battleships take a long time to build. I don't think this will finish. And now it's being targeted down by more stuff. Yeah, no, that's going down. That's going down rapidly. The torpedoes of the galaxies now also just targeting that down, and go on. There we go, and there's a nuke. Completely missed that there was a nuke. That landed, that good, that was a big boom, and apparently Shaker died. I have honestly no clue. Okay, I have a clue what happened. I think I missed a attempted tele snipe. Lots of PD here. We do have a big explosion circle right here, and I was just looking what the Novaxes were doing up here. And that is 6 Novaxes now. Still, by the looks of it, not able to properly break through. I guess there was an attempt from Shaker to get the stuff down here with a tele snipe. Though it obviously failed. Apparently Gus died. I do not know what Gus died to. I seriously don't. Maybe it was a disconnect? I don't know. I don't know where the ACU is, or was. I think I last saw it over here. Don't know what happened there. So, with that, I actually missed both ACU kills right now. Or both ACU deaths that happened throughout this game. God, I'm such a great caster. Now Stopper was being utilized by Mosovi to try and get a bunch of to get back into the Navy, as the Southern team is now facing a almost complete naval lock, only with a single naval HQ left for Ryan that they inherited from Shaker. That is currently, however, also very close to dying with the amount of Navy in the area. And Solo died up here by the looks of it. So many players currently just going for tallies. And by the looks of it, failing. Right, yeah, there's a giant bank of surplus right here. Right, about the topic of tallies, actually, something that I talked with Pi about earlier that I was not aware of because, well, I have to admit, don't read patch notes that much. Apparently tally got changed so that the time it takes now depends on the distance you tally, as well as the energy cost. So you do tally, so if you tally over the entire map, it will take significantly longer than tallying just like from here to here, for example. We have 2 nukes coming in from the north, out from the base of Kirkosina, who now has 5 nuke launchers. Yes, 5. I did not misspeak. However, those are flying in here. There are 4 SMBs loaded in this one, so they will get shot down. And, well, okay, Novaxes just took out the Aeon nuke launcher right here. And it looks like they might be... Are they moving east? No, they are currently just getting stuck on this position, I guess taking out some more pigeons. Another nuke flies. Where are they going next? Don't know, I don't think they have proper orders right now. Artillery actually finished for Mosovi. It did get shortly, that did break a very short time ago. The shields around that, but they popped back on in time to defend against these satellites. Now 3 of them. I suspect the thing that actually broke the shields was just battleship fire from the shoreline. Now, naval production of the southern team completely annihilated. Well, not completely annihilated, there's still one HQ right here that can help out. The one, one HQ won't do too much, and I'm really just missing everything today, aren't I? There is a Paragon. Yes, a Paragon of Orion. Also, Salvation just finished for them, so I guess they do now have the power to end everything with the game enders. Though, honestly, not a position where I would say that a game ender is the right option. I think right now just going for stuff like Mass Stars or, if possible, Mass Tempests with that build power would be better. What the Salvation will probably be able to do is take a lot of the send-off pressure off, like the Novaxes. Did the half of them get built? No, the half of them did not get built, I think it just got reclaimed. But yeah, just taking out the Novaxes, maybe the nukes. Though I think those are those are currently just going down to Novax fire. Yeah, so that will help out against that. It will help taking out economy, build power, stuff like that. Problem right now is Southern team does not have anything, and I literally mean anything, that can effectively and efficiently deal with the current Navy on the field. So what the Novax, what those Salvations, and well, I guess also the Novax will be able to do is prevent new Navy from being built, if it's targeted onto the right thing. Problem right now is there is already a lot of Navy on the field that the Southern team has no real answer to. I mean, they do have top bombers, yes, but look at the amount of hover flag in the area. Look at the ASF in the area. And also there's just the fact those Yavsos can now surface due to no longer being under threat from any navy. There are aircraft carriers in the area, and I suspect there will be more aircraft carriers incoming while that is still possible. So with that, top bombers or generally any attempt to deal with the navy via air are no longer feasible. At least in my current assessment of the situation. So I really think Ryan needs to move the build power into this corner right here, as that is currently still mostly safe, and start spamming out those Tempests. Start spamming out those naval factories. Just get that shit out produced, because it will be needed if they do actually want to stand at winning this. The standoff technology alone cannot win you a game. If you don't have any units, and your opponent does have units, then standoff won't do anything. Because standoff technology does not kill units, it kills bases. And you need something to kill off units. I mean, ideally you want something that can do both. But I think that's also a bit of a mistake that Kung Fu Panda made here, a bit of a lapse in judgment. Maybe thinking that their teammates can hold out without their supportive naval production. Well, I mean, obviously, they went full Novaxes. And I mean, that is definitely a fun and meme strategy. But it won't, it definitely has, definitely does have its price. As with that, you see how the naval situation right now is looking. And the fact that there's no longer anything that can really counter that. There are no battleships firing into the base, in the main base of Orion. Let's take a short look. How far can those reach? Right, those battleships, if parked right up onto the shoreline, can probably reach that Paragon. You have battleships that move in there can reach that Paragon, without question. We also have Torrents now, of course, coming in, as Navy is 1, due to the Torrent just being a pure bombardment unit once the naval game is basically over. Those have even higher ranges. With that, yes, those will just crush that stuff. There are 2 salvations, and they are firing into the back centers right here for 4th, and they might actually take those out, yes. But I'd say the Northern team is currently not in a position where they require standoff technology, as they have the full capability to hit the Southern team's bases with their normal units right now. Like, just normal naval bombardment will just kill bases right now. And with the naval blockade just completely closing in now, I honestly don't see any real way that the Southern team can come back from this. I think at this point I would start speeding this up, but well, look at the game speed. My game speed is stuck at -1, and I have a pretty decent PC, to be fair. Yeah, no, my PC is not coming back, is not going to speed this up. Alright, a nuke was fired into this, apparently. Just missing the Paragon. Nuke, that was Chaos Pile. And yeah, that was a Seraphim nuke. I suspect that was launched from a battleship. Yeah, those battleships are building nukes, so it probably was. Paragon survived. Well, another thing you need to remember when you build a Paragon, build SMB. You don't want to lose a Paragon to some random nuke. If you have a Paragon, you can afford SMB. Like, you can basically afford anything if you have a Paragon, so not having there's no excuse for not having proper SMB coverage for your Paragon. But yeah, Ryan was too close to that, and their AC died in the explosion. Funnily enough, one salvation also survived it. But all of that now did get gifted over to Mosobi. Who is currently building a Mabel. As another game bender. Again, don't think that's play here. I think right now they need anything that can maybe has a chance at countering the current naval situation. Anything that can fire into Navy. We do see large numbers of TMD of tactical missiles being utilized to try that. And that does maybe work if they are targeted properly, but maybe those battleships are still moving. That does make this a lot more difficult. Other than the fact that battleships do have TMD. So you need large numbers of those tactical missiles to take that out. Nuke gets fired right down here. Interesting, interesting. From where do those nukes? Oh, right, those aren't any nukes, those are the nukes from the from those Plan Bs that now Mosobi has. Basically, I think the intention of that was just firing them right before they got, before the submarines died to the torpedoes on the Galaxy-class battleships as BD nukes. While being naval nukes, they don't deal as much damage, so battleships can generally just tank them. As you were just able to see, with most of the battleships just staying alive. Cloaking upgrade going on for Mosobi. A teleporter going on for Rampier, and you can see this takes ages. So I guess it is really just with the tele changes. In the meantime, 4th doing a teleport of their own. And they just got out when, right the second that Rampier tallied there. There is already a bunch of top launchers in the area. Let's see where did 4th tally to, right down here into the pond. Launching a Billy nuke, as of course. Tally Billy is a thing now again. Missile launched. They should probably try to get out of there. The missile impacted onto the shield. I think that dropped one of the shields. Yes, it most certainly did. But did not do any real damage. Normal nuke gets fired. Also as a BD nuke. Paragon goes down to naval bombardment, I think. And with that, basically any chance to get back into this game for the Southern team is completely gone now. There is a Maver out for Mosovi now. Rampere died to the top launchers. Maver is turning, but I don't think a Maver will be able to change the outcome of this game. I'm pretty sure that Mosovi's ACU is in battleship range. The ACU of Kung Fu Panda probably is in torrent range. And if not that, there is a lot of the Huffer has made it onto land. Mass land production has already started now for Chaos Pyre. The the obligatory Sui spam. Mosovi goes for the Control K. Also pretty sure that Daedalus base is also in battleship range. But yes, I don't think there's any way to really come back from this for the Southern team. Kung Fu Panda goes for the Control K. Leaving back Daedalus, and let's see. Okay, I cannot speed up. +0 is the maximum it can go. But yes, players do go for the Control Ks. Leaving back Daedalus, who went for a recall. Right, I hope this was entertaining to watch. I mean, I hope it was also another great lesson in what standoff technology does do, or generally game enders do. In the sense that game enders serve to, well, they don't end the games, they end bases. They kill bases. In a lot of circumstances that is enough to end a game. But when you don't have any units and your enemy has shit tons of units and full map control basically, a game ender won't win you the game. And that's the moment where you need units. A game ender will be helpful in maybe stopping the continued production of your opponent, because unless you have a Paragon, which was the case here, they will be had on eco, and game enders will help you to solve that problem. But the most important thing you need in that situation is units to regain map control. And yes, that is definitely the thing that was lacking right here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. This was streamed live on Twitch. Link to that will be, as always, down in the description. If you did enjoy it, maybe leave a like, or don't, can't force you. And if you want to be notified when more casts like these do come out, you can always subscribe, because, well, it's YouTube. Of course you can. Yeah, but with that, I hope you enjoyed. I'm gone back with future casts, and yeah, hope to see you when that happens. Till then, bye!